In Season 2, we won the Bundesliga, so that's another trophy ticked off. And I asked you whether you think I should stay at Borussia Dortmund or I should resign and look for a new club. And thank you very much for flooding my comments with advice on what to do. I have decided to resign from Borussia Dortmund and try and force a manager merry-go-round. Hilariously, Bayern Munich are another team looking for a manager, and this is because Nagelsmann was sacked. Not ideal if I'm competing for him with a job. So while we wait at the job centre, let me remind you we have Fantasy Football League for the start of the new season. Of course, I'm talking about Spitch, probably the best fantasy footballing app around because you have unlimited transfers, it's free to play, and you can pretty much play 2 11s in 2 weeks. Kind of like Pep Guardiola, who has just left Manchester City. So of course I declared my interest in the role and I applied for the job. I have also put 2 links at the top of the description. The first one is to sign up for Spitch and the second one is to join my fantasy community league. And City rejected us. Great. You do have to be 18 years of age or over to join Spitch and from the UK, Austria or Germany. However, I think the point system is definitely worth playing instead of other fantasy footballing apps. It's just far better, you get way more points for more statistics. Manchester City have then hired Allegri, who left Juventus. So of course I applied and declared my interest. The last thing I want to tell you about Spitch is the brand new season mode. If you play through the year on season mode, your top 5 lineups are put together and you could win a huge cash prize. For £5, the jackpot is £50,000, but there is also a free option too. So again, let's have some fun with some fantasy football. The links are at the top of the description. The first one to sign up, the second one to join my community league. Come join my community league, let's have some fun with Spitch. Back to the job hunt, and Pep Guardiola is favourite for the role and Juve reject us. And this is what I was worried about with only having 2 years in the job. Yes, we have 2 trophies, but is our manager CV going to be attractive enough for a high profile club? Pep takes the Juve job and the season is underway and we're still jobless with no jobs available. Into November and some jobs are cropping up. But no way am I taking a job at 20th in the league. I need like an outside title chance in a couple of years. I can't be doing with like a 4 or 5 year rebuild at a club which is mid-table or below. And then an interesting proposition came about. The Atletico Madrid job. So once again, I declared my interest and I applied for the job. And we become the leading candidate for the role, as well as Werder Bremen, which I of course have no interest in joining. A week has passed and finally an interview. And the questions of language and lack of experience came about. And of course, I answer all this by flashing my DFB Pokal and Bundesliga medals. Because of course, 2 seasons, 2 trophies. My record speaks for itself. Europa League is the aim for this season from the board, but I toyed with saying Champions League. But we are 10th for the league, so probably not. So I just agree with them. Budgets was next on the agenda, and I just said anything that I felt like they would want to hear. Just give me the job, Enrique. But all of a sudden, I'm no longer favourite for the Atletico Madrid job. I am for the German clubs, though. Great. They did want to chat about the backroom staff, however. I just agreed with whatever it was, really, and just pressed continue while crossing my own fingers. And here we go. Atletico Madrid have offered me the manager's position. A 3-year deal as well. Hopefully, by then we can be holding my trophies. But in my new office, their tactical setup is just like the Borussia Dortmund tactic. Perfect. Currently sat in 9th, but 3 points behind 4th place. We landed on our feet here. However, there is one big weakness in the club. There's not really a striker in the team. There's a couple of players who can play there, like Cunha or Correa, but they are definitely better in attacking midfield. So I have created a strikerless tactic for us to use for now. Something I have a history of doing well in the past. We are also lacking a lot of staff members too. But we've already qualified for the Champions League group, but with 2 games left, we look to take top spot from Liverpool. In our first game as Atletico manager, we head to Osasuna. And this is our lineup. A few players are struggling for fitness on the bench, but our team is still very strong. And we took the lead when Angel Correa scored an outrageous chip when the keeper went wandering. Osasuna fought back and equalised in the second half. However, in the 93rd minute, Correa turned provider when he found Cunha, who scored the winner. And it was Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool next, who have just won back-to-back Champions League in this world so far. But in an incredibly boring match, Darwin Núñez scored the only goal in the 92nd minute. After 2 more league wins, our first big test is Barcelona, who sit in 1st place. And we've jumped up to 6th, which is fantastic for us. But of course, Lewandowski at Barcelona is top of the league on form with 13 goals so far this season. However, 33-year-old Felipe took all the plaudits with 2 goals from corners in a 2-0 win. Imagine my shock when I check the transfer market and I see some of my former players on there, including my first ever signing Wilbert and Sebastian Haller, my main striker. When take a look at Dortmund, who Alfred Truder has taken over of, they have made some quality signings, including both Gavi and Nico from Barcelona for £13 million. I checked the loan market and Ansu Fati is on there for an incredibly low wage and a monthly fee. And we secured that deal and bring him in, a player we could also play up front or anywhere across the midfield. At Southampton though is where I found my striker in Beto. We negotiated a deal with Southampton of £40 million overall, but £30 million up front and a little bonuses after some appearances. And we took our first loss in the league when Sevilla beat us 2-0 in Fati's first game. We then secure the signing of Beto, and I really don't believe he is world class, but he is incredibly talented on this game and can score a lot of goals. We then travel to Saudi Arabia for the Super Cup semi-final against Real Madrid in our first Madrid derby in the job. And Cunha absolutely destroyed them, scoring a hat-trick in a 3-0 victory. And then that's when we come across a problem. Beto cannot play for more than 2 teams in one season. I thought he'd only played for Southampton, but then I seen he made a substitute appearance for Udinese at the very beginning of the season in the Cup. So no, we can't register him till the end of the season. After 2 bad results as well in the league and the Super Copa final, we advanced through the Copa del Rey after extra time, and then defeated Malaga in the league 5-1, but this was using a tactic with a striker. Basically, I just moved a shadow striker up front and it seemed to have worked really well. So we might be seeing some more of this. After another draw to Villarreal, we currently sit in 5th place. And we progressed through the Copa del Rey in a 5-2 win at Lugo. February was an incredible month. The striker tactic is performing. 4 league wins, 1 cup win, and the first leg of the semi-final cup draw against Barcelona. And yet none of those was the best result of the month. This 4-0 first leg Champions League win against Manchester City was definitely better. Remember, this is a team that rejected us without an interview. Yet again, this striker tactic helped us boss the game, but the lads were just simply much more clinical than Manchester City. They played a 4-4-2 under Allegri and we absolutely dominated the midfield battle. And even though statistically the game looked fairly even, they had more possession. We scored 4, they scored 0. Time for the second leg of the Copa del Rey semi-final at home to Barcelona, who looked to be rocking a classic 4-3-3. And what a game it was. Left back Amir Dedic assisted Cunha for the opener. But after great play down the left, Dedic once again crossed a wonderful ball in for Cunha to score a second. But the goal of the game came late, when Jeffrey Kondogbia scored a worldy volley into the top corner, and we go through to the final. Awaiting us is a mouth-watering Madrid derby, which was actually our next league game match too. A match we won 1-0. We've definitely been on a roll since the turn of the year, and it's seen us climb up to 2nd place and look almost certain for the top 4 as well. And of course I jinxed myself and we lost to Getafe next, but still stayed unbeaten against Manchester City. Things you love to see. So as of right now, we're in the fight for 3 trophies in the Glory Hunter campaign, and of course we're quite late on in the season now, so things are getting very interesting. After back-to-back 5-1 home wins in the league, we travelled to Turin, where yet again we put 4 past our Champions League opponents. This being the first leg of the quarter-final being very impressive, considering our team was also missing some crucial players like Llorente and Jose Jimenez. They did get themselves a goal as well, but we left the game as 4-1 winners on our way back to Madrid, where we still won that game 3-2. And Manchester United stands in our way of a Champions League final. Speaking of finals, it's Copa del Rey final time. And of course, our first attempt at a trophy at Glory Hunter in Spain. But Real Madrid caught us early with a Benzema goal. Ansu Fati scored a beautiful goal to equalise right after, but once again, that man, Karim Benzema, scored another wonderful goal to put Real back in the lead. And our pursuit of the trophy ended when Kingsley Coman slapped in a third. Yet another 2 5-1 victories in the league, and it's Champions League time. We have a lot of injuries in this fixture, however. Carrasco, Llorente and Saul are all starters for us. And Beto, of course, would have been there as well. So this is our lineup for the first leg. And once again, Felipe scored 2 goals from 2 set pieces without a response from Maurizio Sarri's Manchester United. We then kept the pressure on Barcelona with a good win against Sociedad, and are now just 2 points behind them with 3 games left. And look who our next game is against. But first, it's Champions League time at Old Trafford. With our 2-0 lead, the last thing we wanted was United to score early, which is exactly what they did on 14 minutes. Unfortunately, they scored again, taking the game to extra time, and that's where we completely fell apart. We were a man down from the 50th minute with Kondogbia getting 2 yellow cards. Manchester United scored 2 more in extra time to win the tie 4-2, taking themselves into the final. Dusting ourselves off, it's the Barcelona match at the Camp Nou, and our team are exhausted. So many fitness problems, I'm not sure we can cope a full 90 minutes against top of the league. And unfortunately, I was right. Sevilla next then. Tough game. A game we actually made look easy despite all of our players still being tired. We scored 3 goals in the first half alone and finished the game off in the 68th minute with both teams down to 10 men. But Barcelona just need to beat Malaga and they win the league. Or at least draw the game, and that's exactly what they did. So considering we took over in 9th, we can be dead proud of how far we came. But I can't help feel a little bit gutted that we came so close to 3 different trophies and we didn't get any of them. Job security-wise, Arsenal look to be the only club close to becoming available, but with them down in 15th place and only having 41 points, I think I'll give that one a miss. So tune in to the next episode, which I'll pop on the screen if it is out, and make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss it if it isn't. And of course, Spitch is at the top of the description. Thank you very much. I'll see you soon.